guys, what's up? It's Kasey. Today I want to do a video about dry skin tips for you guys. I feel like I haven't really seen a lot of videos like this, and honestly, if I knew back then what I knew now, life would have been so much easier. I struggled so much in like middle school and high school trying to wear foundation with my skin just like grabbing all of my dead skin, not knowing how to exfoliate, not knowing like what could help. Like honestly, I used to mix like moisturizer with my foundation and hoping that it would go on good. So you know, I hope that these tips will help you guys, and let's get on into the video. Okay, so for my first tip is to use a sponge and don't use a brush, because what I find most of the time is when I use a brush, I'm, you know, painting it on my face, whatever, and it will flare up like patches of dry skin if I have any on my face. And I used to do the same type of motion with the beauty sponge and it did the same thing, but now I go back and stipple on, hopefully that's the right word, I pat in my foundation with the sponge. So basically you just put the foundation in your hand and then you go in and pat it in, and that way, you know, you don't uplift any dry patches of skin that you have on your face. And tip number 2 is to make sure your face is damp when applying your moisturizer. My best friend literally told me this. Like, we have been best friends since 9th grade, and if anybody knows how bad I struggle with my skin, it's her. But she told me that she read somewhere, like found it on YouTube, that you should keep your face damp and then go ahead and apply your moisturizer, and it will help hydrate your skin. And that works. That's a really good tip to use, especially during the winter when, you know, my skin just is so dry. Best friends always looking out for you, honestly. Alright, and then since we're talking about moisturizer, make sure that you guys invest in a good moisturizer. For the longest time, I was using the Ultra Repair Cream by First Aid Beauty, and this is good in the summer for me. Like, it will work, but it's one of those moisturizers where you have to like keep reapplying it for it actually to soak in. Like, girls with dry skin, you know when moisturizer doesn't work for you because you have to keep reapplying it, honestly. And that is because it has alcohol in it. It's like the I was looking on the ingredients here, and it's like the 7th one, and it's behind a whole bunch of like acids and like benzoyl peroxide, and that's really drying for your skin. So benzoyl peroxide and like glyceric acid or whatever it's called, it is good for your skin, but during the winter I try to use something that's not so alcohol-y because it like sucks all the life out of my skin. So steer clear of any moisturizer that has alcohol in it. But a really good moisturizer, if you guys know from my December favorites, I'll link that up in the eye for you guys. I talk about this Renewed Hope in a Jar. It has SPF, and it honestly, I have been trying moisturizers for years, and this is the best one that I've come across. And if you guys have dry, patchy skin, like, I highly recommend this. Like, Philosophy has some really great moisturizers. Just make sure that you guys are using warm water to wash your face and not hot. I made this mistake because I love a steaming shower, but when I wash my face, you have to bring the temperature down to lukewarm because hot water is very, very drying. So make sure that you're washing with a warm water and that you are splashing your face with cold water, obviously, to close up your pores. Alright, and then next I want to talk about exfoliating. So for the longest time, I was using like a chemical exfoliator like every other day, and obviously you're not supposed to do that. That's not good for your skin. And then after that, I was using like a chunky, harsh exfoliator, and that is not good for your skin to use like every day. And so I was like, why is my skin still flaking up? Like, I'm exfoliating, like I'm doing all this stuff, I don't know why. And then I went to Ulta, and the wonderful woman at Ulta told me that I need to use a fine exfoliant, and so I started using a fine exfoliant, and I use this one by Philosophy, my favorite new brand, but it's a micro delivery exfoliating face wash, and I really do recommend this. You don't need a lot, and I just put that on my Clarisonic, and I go at it on my skin at night and sometimes in the morning, depending on how dry my skin has been, and it works so well because it's very fine, so it's not gonna like tear up my skin as much as like a chemical exfoliant or a like chunky harsh like a physical exfoliant would either. But people used to tell me that I exfoliated too much, and I did with those, but with this you can use it like every day, and honestly my skin has never looked better after I started using that at night to exfoliate. But my skin is really dry, so you just need to make sure that you take time to figure out, do I need this every day? Do I need this every other day? Do I only need to exfoliate once a week? But if you're watching this video, you have dry skin probably, so just test it out with your skin and really kind of make that decision yourself. You'll tell when your skin is like raw or if your skin is still having buildup. All right, and then I use a Clarisonic, and that really helps to get that layer of skin that's right about to fall off anyways, but it's not like an exfoliator, but it does a really good job at making sure like my skin is cleansed, obviously, and that the top layer of skin, like dead skin, comes right off. And I really do recommend it, but I understand that those are expensive and not everybody has those. So for my girls that are on a budget, for a really long time I used a washcloth because my mom got like a Clarisonic type thing years ago, and so the lady was like, oh well, you know, you can just get a different head for your daughter, or she can use like a wash rag with like her cleanser on it and do circular motions for like a minute, and that's like the same thing. And guys, that does work. I used that for a really long time, and then I finally made the jump and invested in a Clarisonic. So I really, if you can't get a Clarisonic, a wash rag is like the next best thing. All right, and since we're talking about washing our face, make sure that you have a cleanser that has sulfate in it. I don't remember where I saw it. I think it was on a video somewhere on the YouTube. But you want a cleanser that has sulfates in it because that helps kick the dead skin off of your face while you're washing it. And the one that I use but don't currently have with me because I'm poor and I can't afford, I'm going through all my sample ones right now. But anyways, it's the Kate Somerville Detox Cleanser, and that has sulfate in it, and it smells like lemons, and it is my favorite, and I do recommend it. It does a really great job. But any cleanser that has sulfate in it will work. All right, and then the next one has to do with your body. You want to drink water. My skin used to be really dehydrated because even though I only really drink water, I didn't always drink a lot of it. So you want to make sure that you're getting in at least like a liter of water a day. I have this big old water bottle. Everyone makes fun of me because I'll carry around like a liter water bottle, or I'll get like a liter and a half water bottle. But yeah, drinking a lot of water is really important. Not only will it like clear your acne, it like detoxes your system, and hydrated skin doesn't flake. So just make sure that you're drinking your H2O. Okay, and this next one's really important. My best friend is always yelling at me. She's like, Kasey, does your moisturizer have SPF in it? Does your foundation have SPF in it? And I was like, no, because it didn't. So the really great thing about the Renewed Hope in the Jar that I rave about in my entire life to like everybody I meet, like, hi, I'm Kasey Bennett and I love the Renewed Hope in a Jar. Like, it did this, like, look at my flowers. Okay, sorry. But anyways, she always tells me that I need SPF, and so that has 30%. Girl, it's 30 SPF, so that's really good. Make sure that it's worked into your routine. Like, you need to have SPF every single day during the winter, during cloudy days, especially during cloudy days, especially during the winter and in the summer. You should be wearing sunscreen every single day. Honestly, you really should. Because burnt skin, sun damaged skin, it peels. And it's not pretty. And then finally, when you're setting your makeup, I know people like to use the MAC Fix primer or whatever it's called. I've never bought it, but water is kind of drying to my face, at least, by itself. So what I like to use a setting spray, and I'm not even gonna try to say the last name because I'm just gonna slaughter it. So the Mario facial spray with aloe, herbs, and rose water. Aloe is really good for your skin, and rose water is really good for skin as well, and aloe is really hydrating. So I would recommend getting a hydrating setting spray so that, you know, you just did all this work, you know, exfoliating, moisturizing, and you don't want to go in with a setting spray that's going to dry your foundation. So I really do recommend any type of setting spray that has aloe in it. Alright guys, and that's it for today's video. Don't forget to share this with a friend that has dry skin. I'm sure she will be thankful. Oink. But yeah, and then don't forget to comment down below if you have a product that is like your holy grail for dry skin. Honestly, I'm always still looking for new products to try out. And don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.